So again, another prototype. The turn upside down cake. Yeah, right? What is that? For these specific dinners, I really do like to use a vegetable for dessert. You just kind of have to use your, creativity a little bit. Last year we did a beet pot de creme. So, beets kind of do have a sweet note. Beets and cocoa do work great together. We did that on the menu before. And that was kind of the play last year. So, I love that dish, actually. That was really good. That was another one that kind of kicked my ass trying to figure that recipe out for after I came up with the idea just for the dinner. But the turn upside down
cake. I think there was 10 tries on that recipe. It was like 1 in the morning the night before the dinner trying to finalize it.
No, I had to make, the amount that I had to make for the dinner was kind of tremendous. Like for a custard, like a classic custard with eggs and making trust me, I could not find a pot de creme recipe with beets. So I definitely had to figure it out. This time around, we're going to do, like I said, turn upside down cake. It's kind of a play on a pineapple upside down cake. Or that's exactly what it is. I chose turnips not because I liked how it sounded. We've done, I don't even remember where, but I know we've done a turnip butterscotch, which is what we're going to be making here today. And turnips, my pan is really hot right now, but that's good. Turnips are something we can always get from Diane. She typically has the Red Queen. I believe we get the haikuri as well. She's the Red Queen. Thanks, Diane. So we're going to start. This is pretty simple. I'm just going to be making the turnip butterscotch for you guys. The cake recipe that you're about to have is very moist. There's actually sour cream inside the cake. So I was preheating my pan. It's going to be really hot right now. Yeah? All right, cool. Not too hot. We want a little bit of smoke. I'm going to turn it up. So this is, I guess, the example of pan roasting we were talking about with the mushrooms. Smoke is fine. Some smoke is fine. It's okay. Don't be scared. Turn your vent on. My fire alarm goes off every weekend because I cook steaks and I cook them really hot. Be really careful with that part. I actually got myself real good the other day. Yeah, whenever you're gonna pan roast something, like I find specifically these kind of vegetables, or a vegetable that you're gonna dice, it's gonna have some surface area. The viscosity of oil when it's really hot, it's super light, all right? It'll just like that. So if you have that flat surface hit that hot oil, the wrong angle, then that's what happens to you. So I like to lean my oil away from me when I'm kind of paying attention. I'm talking to you guys, so I think I was just huh. But I'll lean my pan away from me and kind of drop it in the dry side to start. Kind of avoid injuring yourself. All right, and you saw I added a light amount of salt. Like I said, always start your vegetables with a little bit of salt. We don't want to move it too much. As you can see, we already started developing a little bit of color there. Yeah, you can see it. With the oil. So how do I know if I had too much oil or not enough? I like to start with always a light coating. If your roast is coming out very dark, very fast, that likely means you're a little too dry. You can add a little bit more, unless that's what you want. And that's something we do. We'll take a hot, dry cast iron to kind of char turnips with some blackening spice on them. Just a slightly different thing. Here I do want some golden brown caramelization. Caramelization, again, like we were talking about earlier, going to help you develop some depth. They're going to cook a little bit in this syrup that we're going to make here. And the thing about butterscotch, it's cool. So for those of you that aren't familiar, butterscotch is like caramel, very similar to caramel, but the sugar's already brown pretty much. You use brown sugar. So, caramel, you're taking white sugar, caramelizing it, you're adding butter, you're adding cream. Here, I'm actually just browning my butter, so I'm roasting my turnips, browning my butter. We can actually start adding the butter now. We're getting some nice color. I'm going to move my turnips to the side because they might slow down the browning process a little bit. Here we go. We got a little bit of browning. A little bit too much. Your recipe is good, don't worry. A little bit of a time crunch today. So we're going to move it around. You see the butter is just starting to brown. We're going to stop there. Like kind of nutty, golden and nutty. We have some miso paste. You can get that in most grocery stores. Fermented soybean paste. I'm going to break that up in the butter a little bit. As you see, I'm doing this off the heat now. We're going to get back on the heat, but my butter's right where I want it, so we're just going to stop that process for a moment, okay? I like to break the miso up. The miso, what that's going to do, it is a little salty, so you got to be careful. The amount in the recipe is, I think, pretty perfect. All right, so we have that miso broken up. You see that kind of brought the butter together, the moisture from the turnips, it all like emulsified a little bit. For my favorite part, the bourbon. All right, we're getting bubbly. We're going to deglaze. Save a little bit for yourselves. Woo! So we just want that to cook out a little bit. There we go. We're going to add our brown sugar now. So we can actually keep the heat kind of low. We cooked our booze off. We're not trying to caramelize the sugar at this point or anything like that. And we just want to melt the sugar. After the sugar's melted, I've been leaving this one on like a lower heat level, just so that the brown sugar like kind of totally dissolves. And it doesn't burn. But what can help with that as well is the moisture from the turnips. That's going to come out. It's going to loosen up the sauce a little bit. Don't be too alarmed, all right? You're going to not kind of need that for this for the cake if you end up making this at home. The cake's going to absorb some of that sauce. And yeah, so just kind of low heat until it comes together. You want it thicker, just kind of leave it on that low heat, move it every so often. Kind of, the turnips will kind of get like chewy and like candied. That's what I like about the turnips too. They're not like, it's not like they start to fall apart. They get like more texture, almost. You know, when you cook them this way. You might notice when you eat the dessert, there's going to be a little bit of a chew. You know, turnips, they have like, you know, a slight little spice to them. So it's like kind of different. I guess it's because they're drier. They're just like drier than a radish would be, or, you know, a lot of other root vegetables. All right, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a wrap on that one. We got some nice bubbles going on here.
This is something we've actually done, I don't know if it was before Tommy's time, but we've actually done like a savory application of this as well. We've used like kind of like that butterscotch. We used miso in that as well, like a miso butterscotch for, I think we did it for like roasted root vegetables as well. Obviously we adjust the amount of sugar that we're using with it and salt and so on. You know, this is a sauce you could make and you could have in your fridge. You know, just one of those things that is kind of like a cool addition to over a scoop of ice cream or something like that. Just something that, you know, it's kind of fun, and it's really not that difficult of a technique either. You know, you can just not do the turnips and do everything else, and it takes about 4 to 5 minutes probably. So.
Well, we want you to do the turnips so you can buy them from Diane.
Of course.
Keep Kai in business. Come to Driftwood afterward.
So this is a
salted honey streusel.
Yeah.
So the salted honey streusel is actually This recipe I actually just started doing at Driftwood for like a s'mores chocolate tart we're doing, and the honey streusel is almost like graham cracker-esque. We thought it would lend itself very nicely to this dish. You're gonna have that turn upside down cake with that salted honey streusel, and a sour cream ice cream. We do a very, very similar recipe. Buttermilk. We do a buttermilk ice cream. It's actually like from an awesome dessert we do on the warm cornbread off the original menu. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna like this one a lot. I was like stoked after we first tried it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, like Tom was saying earlier, it's always that dessert thing it always gets us a hard time. Something we usually have the majority of the menu sorted out, and it's like, okay. I mean, it would be different if Diane was growing strawberries and stuff like that, but
We only have 2 scoops?
It's we had turnips, arugula. I think we did like an arugula ice cream last year, which was again that's the time when we actually push the limits and we do things that we wouldn't normally think of because we're forced to. So we love that part. We love that's something that we do love about these dinners because it does challenge us and it kind of gives us makes us think of things that we wouldn't otherwise. So we hope you all enjoy this. This dessert did come out really good. This might be something you might see a variation of this on the Driftwood menu somehow.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep. Yeah.
The miso is a really good segue for the turnips and the butterscotch. It kind of, I think, helps connect it in a way because the miso has that depth. There is like a slight sweetness to the miso. And sweet and salty is like one of my all-time favorites. Like, I love sweet and salty. Enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great time.
We know we're a little bit far away from home, so we hope you all enjoyed everything. And if you didn't really enjoy it, at least you can kind of learn something from it and at least understand like our take on something.
Thank you.
We love food. We love what Diane and Carl do here at the farm. For us, this is something that we definitely will always want to do our best to support, and we thank you all for doing that by coming here tonight as well. So thank you, and hopefully we'll be able to see you at Driftwood. If not, we'll be able to see you next season. We'll definitely be back here. So thank you all.
Well, I like to hear that. That's nice that they're coming back again.
Oh, yeah,
so
we
we're
are.
doing something right, and thanks to you guys. So again, big thanks for you, both of you, for patronizing us all the time. Your support means a lot to us. And then I know they're always excited when we talked about, okay, what date do you want? Well, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going. So I like to hear that. That attitude, that's all we care about.
Thank you all very much. Nobody threw anything at us. Nobody booed us off stage. Most of the plates look clean. So thank you. That's, we're really, really happy